This is the web series For the Love of BIM, promoting Barbados, everything Bajan Canadian, and everything Canadian Bajan. Welcome to another episode in the web series For the Love of BIM. I am your host, Consul General Sonia Marvel Carter, and I hope you had a good Errol Barrow Day on Thursday. And for those non-Barbadians wondering to what I am referring, Thursday was a public holiday in Barbados, Errol Barrow Day. The Right Excellent Errol Walton Barrow served as Premier of Barbados from 1961 until 1966. Then, having led the country to independence from Great Britain in 1966, he became the island's first Prime Minister. He died suddenly in 1987, unfortunately, and in 1989, his birthday, January the 21st, was declared a public holiday to honour him. The Right Excellent Errol Walton Barrow is also one of Barbados' 10 national heroes, and so much more. I therefore invite you to read up on this giant of a man and exceptional leader. But going back one more day to January 20th, did you watch the inauguration of President Biden and Vice President Harris? Did you note that in her speech, Vice President Kamala Harris paid tribute to Shirley Chisholm? She said, and I quote, "Shirley Chisholm created a path for me and for so many others. Today, I am thinking about her inspirational words. I am and always will be a catalyst for change." End of quote. Do you know that Shirley Chisholm was the first woman to seek a nomination of a major party to run for President of the United States back in 1972? Did you also know that Shirley Chisholm was of Barbadian descent and actually went to primary school in Barbados? Well, now you know. And now you will also know that there is a foundation called the Shirley Chisholm Education Foundation, which launches today, January 23rd, as this marks the 49th year of Chisholm's bid for presidency of the United States of America. Something else for you to research. So check out the website, unbought.org. The website is right over here, as they hope to build and operate a women's leadership center in Barbados sometime in the near future. Now on to the birthday shout-outs. Despite COVID, there are still persons celebrating birthdays, of course, and within recent days, we celebrated with some of the members of Team Barbados in Canada. We had Jason on the 3rd, we had Michelle on the 11th, we had Shirley on the 18th, and Caroline on the 20th. And joining our list of birthday shout-outs are Tyrone Barnett in Scarborough. He celebrated on the 22nd, and this is coming from the entire family circle here in Canada and in Barbados. Also on the 22nd was my goddaughter Sierra in Barbados. Happy birthday, Sierra. And last but by no means least, also celebrating on the 22nd was my colleague who, although not Barbadian by birth, spent her formative years in Barbados. Happy birthday to the Consul General of Antigua and Barbuda at Toronto, and also the Dean of the Consular Corps in Toronto, Consul General Anne-Marie Lane. I pray that all of you, Sierra, Uncle T, and CG Lane, you had a wonderful birthday and that you will continue to celebrate throughout the weekend, of course, but please be safe. And now, celebrating today on the 23rd of January is a special lady in Barbados called Coral Agard, known to many as Granny. And Granny is 102 years old today. And these special greetings are coming to her from her great-granddaughter and her granddaughter and other family members here in Canada who are unable to spend the birthday with her in Barbados. Granny, the entire Barbadian diaspora here in Canada also send best wishes to you on your special day and pray that God will continue to keep and protect you. Enjoy your day, Granny Agard. Today we will also hear about one of the Barbadian associations in Canada whose members work tirelessly to promote Barbados, assist Barbadians, and contribute to Barbados' development. There are approximately 22 active Barbados associations in Canada, with 16 of those operating in the GTA or Greater Toronto area. The Barbados Canada Association is almost like an umbrella body for the other 15 associations, as it is comprised of representatives of the Barbados associations in the GTA. And here to tell us about it is Mark Hoyt, President of the BCA.
I'm Mark Hoyt, and I'm the president of the Barbados Canada Association, BCA. I'd like to extend my thanks to Sonia for having me on this episode for the love of BIM. So I'll get started with some background on the BCA. The BCA was originally formed in January of 2019. And the reason that this came about was we used to have two marquee events in the diaspora, which was one was put on by the Barbados Ball and one was put on by the Barbados Independence Committee. That would be the Independence Gala. As the diaspora got older, we found that the numbers were depleting pretty quick, and this was having a big impact on the fundraising. So it was decided at that time that we should kind of merge the two associations together and become one.
What are you doing then? What are the plans for the BCA? Do you have like goals? Do you have projects that you're doing besides the two events that you spoke about? Are you still continuing with those, or do you have other plans and goals?
As mentioned, the two events we have now moved away from the two marquee events, and we've moved to one event which we market as our big event at Independence, and we also try to have a smaller event in the summer, which we call the summer event. The name for that one can change depending on what the theme is. So those will be the two events that we will have. But recently we've embarked on a couple of other things. We're looking at having an event with British TO, which we're calling Barbados Have Enough Talent. So we're doing that only to engage the youth, right, and make them a part of the big scheme of things, and not give them their own event to plan on and work on. As far as our goals or our mission statement is concerned, our main purpose is to build, network the Barbadian organizations and individuals in the diaspora. Also to highlight, promote Barbados, our island Barbados, which we call the gem. Promote it as much as we can, and gain interest in people to visit Barbados and keep us on the map.
Okay, so do you find so you have just mainly Barbadians who are part of this organization? Are there persons from other Caribbean territories or Canadians, or is it just mainly Barbadians?
At this moment, it is now Barbadians. And it's funny you mentioned that, because we're hoping, we just had a meeting recently and that's exactly our thought, that we need to extend our vision as far as who is part of the organization, try to get other people involved, all right, and see if we can expand our clientele from that angle.
Okay. You would have mentioned that this is a pretty new organization, and pretty soon after you came in, COVID would have hit. So what are your plans, or how are your goals or projects being implemented now in light of COVID and the COVID pandemic? What have you been doing during this COVID period?
Well, in 2020, as you said, the COVID came in early, so that forced us to move away from our tradition face-to-face events, which was very popular again with the more mature people. We were forced to go online, which was a new and very interesting experience for all of us that was involved. Lucky for us, we had some good help that when it came to marketing the event, that the older generation that didn't feel comfortable online event would go and that kind of stuff. So I think it kind of reduced our numbers as far as the support was for that. So as the pandemic continues, we have to stay online. Part of our plan this year is try to do more and better marketing, getting out to the older diaspora and try to educate them on how it works and the benefits and that kind of stuff. And hopefully we can gather some momentum and get the numbers back up this year. Well, we have our objectives. I would say more objectives than projects, right? So our objectives is one, scholarships for the youth of Barbadian heritage and Barbadian students here in Canada. Then we have the hospital equipment, which we support. And then we recently introduced the emergency and disaster fund.
How do you qualify for this emergency fund?
Right. So the emergency came about, as you might know, Tina, because we had discussion on the emergency came about after we were embarked with Barbadians who are traveling, or even Barbadians in the diaspora who come across some hard times financially for whatever reason. It could be that they're traveling and they got stuck or something happened, they lost their wallet, or they lost their cards, or a fire that happens, say, to one of the diaspora, people in the diaspora, and they lose everything, they don't have insurance, or what the case may be. So things like that we were thinking about for the emergency fund. For the emergency fund, how you qualify is that we came up with a application form. We had a committee who worked on that for the emergency fund, and they came up with an application form that you have to complete, and then it will be submitted to the association, and then it will be reviewed and decided if you qualify or not. And also, again, with that, we also rely a lot on the consulate to guide us as far as that is concerned, because I know a lot of the emergencies that happen do come through the consulate. So we work hand in hand with the consulate to sort that part out.
Are there any areas that have to do particularly with COVID that you may be looking at in terms of your emergency fund? Like, would you be contributing to persons who may have lost their jobs, Barbadians who may have lost their jobs due to COVID? Is there any other assistance that you'd be looking to expand into with respect to this emergency fund?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, anyone who's interested and feel that they need the help, they can contact us and we can send out the application to them. They can fill out the application. The application has a lot of room to expand as far as other stuff, right? Whatever distress you might be in, it has room to help out in that area. So
okay,
it will all be based on the application form.
Okay, and before we wrap up, I just want to ask, what assistance do you need? Is there anything in particular that would assist the association in being able to carry out its mandate and pushing forward with the objectives? And
to answer that question, I would touch first on, we're really looking to work harder on closing the generation gap with the younger people, all right? Because we know that time is coming where we're going to be in that place where people will be outgoing, but no one is going to be incoming. Right. So as far as the sustainability of the association, we really need to get that part going. We do have some of it in place now with BridgeTO, but they're an organization on their own, and that's how they operate. But from then we can still gather some good talented young people who are willing to step into roles for the BCA and continue carrying the mantle. The other thing is, I think we have to work much closer with the country team so that we can promote. We talk a lot about promoting the island and that kind of stuff. And I think that's where we need to lean on heavily, right? Because the main thing is to get, people realizing Barbados, what Barbados is about, what Barbados have to offer, and in the end, visiting Barbados, right? I think we can do a lot better from that angle, and we're hoping that going forward, we can use the independent function to focus on that area of promoting the island. The final one, I would say, find creative, ways and individuals, people that can come in with the talents that we need, to sit on the board and to join the organization, and that are driven and really want to do this and really love the island and realize there's nothing wrong with, promoting Barbados and being proud of being a Barbadian, and just keep on pushing. Every other Caribbean island do it, and I think that we're in a good position that we can also do that and be successful.
To get more information on the Barbados Canada Association, visit barbadoscanada.org. And before we close, please join me in congratulating our very own Jessica Carrington, who was honoured and recognised by the Anglican Diocese of Toronto as a member of the laity who has given outstanding service over a significant period of time in their volunteer ministry. Jessica was awarded the Order of the Diocese of Toronto, along with other recipients, on January 1st, 2021. Congratulations to Jessica and all other honorees for your outstanding contribution. Well, that's all the time we have for today, folks. But join us next week for more information, more birthday greetings, and more interesting happenings. All for the love of BIM. Stay safe.